I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Board of Commissioners, the town of Mint Hill, North Carolina, for January 13th, 2022. We do have a quorum present. I'm going to ask Mayor Pro Tem Dalton if he would lead us in our invocation, please.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you so much for allowing us to meet tonight, dear Lord. We just thank you so much for the town and the citizens of it, dear Lord. We just ask that you give us each and every one wisdom as we go through tonight to make the decisions that's best for this town. Dear Lord, just be with us, guide us, and watch over us. For it's in your name that I pray. Amen.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3 on tonight's agenda is addition, deletion, or arrangement of agenda items. Do we have any? Okay, we are going to close session at the end of this meeting so that we can consult with the attorney. That will be number 11. 12 will be adjournment. Item number 4, approve minutes of the December 9th, 2021 regular meeting. Did you get that? I got it. I have a motion and I have a second. Do I have any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 5 is the consent agenda. A is to accept the December tax collector's report. B is to accept the November treasurer's report and financials. C, to accept an amended audit extension contract with Ann R. Craven CPA LLC.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any conversation on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 6 on the agenda. I'm going to open the public hearing on ZC 21-15 filed by Luther and Shelby Jones, petition to rezone property from R to B-G General Business District for property located at 5011 Willgrove Mint Hill Road, tax parcel number 137-051-05. Is the applicant present here this evening? Sir, if you'll come to the podium, state your name and your address, you have the floor.
I'm Luther Jones. I own the property that the gentleman was talking about. We lived in a house for 33 years, or my wife and kids lived in the house for 33 years. I was making a living and traveling a good bit of the time, and she done a fine job taking care of the kids and raising them. We saw this house after 33 years. I moved to Mint Hill. I stayed in Mint Hill for 16 years. And after 16 years, my son that lives at Creamer Mountain, a house came open over there, and he says, "You've lived beside of my sister for all these years. So what about moving to Creamer Mountain and staying next to us? We'd like to see you once in a while." So I bought the house. I stayed 4 years. I'm a country boy. I don't mix very good with HOA. And we didn't have a good relationship. So after 4 years, my wife also, we had a wreck, and she was fine up until the point she come out of the hospital. And when she came out of the hospital, she was diagnosed with dementia. And I am her caretaker. That's 24 hours. That's 24 hours a day taking care of her. I have to do everything for her. She can't remember to do anything. Okay, but the neurologist told me over at Gastonia that we had. He says if I've done all I can do for this woman. Said she's at a standstill now. Said every time I get to talking to her, said she will talk a couple words about what I've asked her, and said she will start talking about Mint Hill. And he says, you lived there for a good while. I said, 16 years. He said, if you can afford it, he says, I've asked you to take her back to Mint Hill so that'll do more in it for her than anything else. So the next day I got up and I got her ready real early. We went to the hospital where they're building the new houses. I took her in and showed her one of the nicest houses. I said, how you like the house? I went to the ones they're building back of the library and showed her one of the nice houses. I said, how you like the house? And she just shook it off. I had to use the bathroom and it was getting on toward lunchtime. I said, we will go to Bojangles, get lunch. And we were going down the Mint Hill Road. And we passed by this house, and it's built on the same plan that the house we lived in for all those years. And she said, look, look. So I turned around and I came back, and the lady was driving up a for sale sign. So it kind of got to me. I asked the lady, I said, the house right for sale? She says, yes. She said, I'm from the youngest daughter, and says they wanted me to come back from Southwest Texas where she lives to take care of the property, to get rid of the property. And I got everything straight with her and everything, and I said, let's put a binder on it today. I asked my wife, I said, how you like this house? All I could see was all this stuff that had to be done because Mr. Turner, he was a great guy. I've never heard a bad word against him. But they say he was not a maintenance man.
I don't mean to be rude and don't mean to interrupt you, sir, but we need to get to the part about the
Okay, we moved
application.
in the house, and then I'm fixing the house up. The day I moved in, I was sitting out under the tree where the couch is at now, the outside couch. And the kids come by it was Labor Day. The kids come by, they were from both parks. They had joined hands and joined together and come in. They were playing and they were having a big time like that. One little guy come up to me, he said, can I have some of your muscadines? A couple of your muscadines. I said, no. I said, but you can have all of them. And all the kids started, they eat muscadines, and they from then on they were eating. But that particular day, I sat there and watched them, and they went out to the road, and I said, where you guys going now? I said, we're going down to 7-Eleven to get us an ice cream and a drink. I said, okay, fine. I said, y'all be careful now. Be careful. They got out to the road, and they no sooner got out the road, one pushed another one, pushed him into a car. The lady was driving down the street, and she stopped immediately. She wasn't speeding or anything, and it skinned the boy's elbow. And he said, oh, I'm not hurt, but he did have blood coming out of that. And I said, I had got a contractor to come and give me a price on bringing this house up to date. He said it cost $87,000, but you're going to have the lead paint done extra. And so I got to thinking about it, and I talked with the fire chief and the former fire chief, and told them what I was. They said, you'll never get it approved, never get the zoning approved in it. The lot is big enough for a convenience store or whatever on there and everything. And that is the reason I have applied for that. I was talking to my wife last night and telling her what the plans might be. And she says, please, let's don't move. Let's don't move from this place. Let's don't move from this place. And I slept on it, and I thought about it all day. And we will probably, I'd like to get the zoning changed, like I have applied for and paid for paid the application fees for it and everything. But as far as I'm concerned, my wife and I will die in that place. I'm 87 years old. My wife is 85 years old. We've been married for 64 years.
Congratulations.
And she loves that picture window. She sits at that picture window day and night. So this is the reason I love her. Her love is number one. The love for kids is number two. That's all those kids that come by there and get pears and get apples, get muscadines or whatever they want, and they all know me and they all throw up their hand and they have a good time. But the kids is going to be kids and they're going to push and they're going to play and everything. Not long, but a short time prior to that time, a girl got her arm broke right out ahead of my house, right in the same place. Now, what I'm asking for, our kids, they're number one. They're our future leaders.
Yes, sir.
They're our future leaders. Let's keep them safe.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep them safe. And I pray that you people will see it my way. And like I say, as far as I'm concerned, if it's approved, which I would like to see it approved, my wife and I, we will die in that house. And I don't know how long it'll be.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, we have some people who have signed up to speak at this public hearing for ZC 21-15, and I'm going to do the best I can on this. It looks like Douglas B., is it Sherrow? Sir, if you take the podium, please give us your name without me butchering it, if you would, please, and your address, and then you have the floor, sir.
Douglas B. Sherrow, 8030 Grove Hall Avenue, Mint Hill. I've been here 18 years, and I came down after 35 years in the Army to relax. And my house would be literally abutting this change. So when you look over my fence, you'd see whatever ends up being put up there. That is not the type of environment I intended to be involved with. And I have no desire to be exposed to that kind of business. So I would hopefully recommend disapproval of this notice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker will be Mrs. L. Darnell Olowofoyeku. How close did I get?
You got it.
Yeah. If you would, give us your name probably a little quicker than I did because I had to go through all those syllables, and your address, please, and then you have the floor.
Okay, good evening. My name is L. Darnell Olowofoyeku, and I live at 8039 Grove Hall Avenue. I am the president of the Grove Hall Board of Directors, and I'm representing the Grove Hall community as it pertains to the rezoning of the Willgrove Mint Hill property. As we look around the community, it is evident that Mint Hill government is expanding its efforts in growth and renewal of downtown and other areas, and we applaud the governing authority for the beautification of the community. Our concern, however, pertains to the rezoning of the Willgrove Mint Hill Road property for commercial use. Many of our neighbors relocated to Mint Hill because it was still rural at the time. And we liked the rural environment because we felt that this was the best and safest place to live and to raise our families. We all know our neighbors. We enjoy the neighborhood ambience and small-town homely environment. To rezone the Willgrove Mint Hill Road property to commercial use will be a big mistake that will be adversely affected every homeowner in our neighborhood, the Grove Hall subdivision. I am certain that the vision of the Mint Hill Zoning Commission is not to upgrade a new commercial development within what was previously zoned to be a homestead which will result in detrimental outcomes for the people who reside here. It would subtract from the Mayberry-like homestead appearance of a perfect place to live. It would bring an increase in vehicle traffic passing through our narrow streets. There would be an overflow of traffic from the commercial development into the adjacent residential areas, including Grove Hall Avenue. The lot location is broadened between two intersections, barely 100 yards apart, connected by almost parallel side streets on either side of the commercial rezoning lot, which has adjacent private homes surrounding it. The area is heavily traveled by school buses and bus stops, and the intersection and the garbage collection trucks on collection day make the road almost impassable for other traffic. Hence, our homes and property that we have invested so much in will certainly become unattractive, and its value will decline while our property tax may continue to increase. We are a community that likes where we live and plead that the Wilhoit Mint Hill property not be rezoned for commercial use. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. We're always looking for input from the public, and another way that we do that for those that can't be present here is we allow them to send things in via email, and we'll get them read into the record. It's my understanding that Town Manager Welch has a couple items that were sent in through the website, and he will read those just as they are printed this evening.
Mandy Jordan, 7734 Grove Hall Avenue. Good morning. I'm writing you to request that we not allow the property outside of Grove Hall neighborhood to get approval for commercial use or as a gas station. There are several reasons why this is a bad idea. This is a family neighborhood with lots of young children. Business traffic will bring added traffic on Will Grove Mint Hill Road, right at where an elementary school bus stop is. The added traffic will create a dangerous environment for children waiting at the bus stop or getting on off the bus, create congestion on Will Grove Mint Hill Road, will create more traffic for our neighborhood that doesn't have a turnaround, an increase in crime, and a decrease in property value for our neighborhood. If a gas station is under consideration, that market is already oversaturated with 2 gas stations within a mile. We request that you please consider this in any decision-making your teams have. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I won't use her cell phone number on the record. Thank you for your consideration. Warmest, Mandy Jordan. Terry Taylor, 7825 Grove Hall Avenue. Zoning request file ZC 21-15. I am a resident of Grove Hall Avenue. We are hearing rumors that a gas station is being considered for the property. Please do not allow the zoning to be changed from residential to commercial. Will Grove Mint Hill Road is a heavy residential road, and a gas station or any commercial business would degrade the safe family environment that us residents have grown to know and love. We beg you, please do not approve.
Thank you, Manager Welch. Did we have any sign-ups that I missed at any point in time? I'm seeing no. Did you sign up to speak, sir? Do we have you?
No, but I would like to speak about it as well.
We need for you to sign up in advance to be able to speak. We appreciate that, but we need to follow our rules. Anybody else sign up to speak that I'd missed?
I didn't sign up, but if we want to sign up, will it be discussed at the next?
I would suggest what you do, since you didn't sign up ahead of time, is go ahead and send it in via email to the Board of Commissioners. Our email addresses are all on the town website. You can get those, or you can pick up cards in the lobby on the way out this evening, I think. Are they still outside? Yeah. You can pick a card up this evening. Send us any emails that you'd like, or any information you'd like us to have at that time.
I did send an email to the planning manager. Will that suffice?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
I sent an email to the planning manager, I think John Owen or something. I sent an email to him.
Did you send it after 5 o'clock this evening?
Yes.
Yeah, that was not received in time to be read into the record. Mr. Hord will forward that to all of us, and we will have that in our email file this evening. I was notified of that one, but it came in after our deadline. Thank you, sir.
Just to be clear, anything that you send these folks will be part of the public record, as it is a public record, but it won't be included in the public hearing. They will see it, they get full access to it.
As will the planning board, correct? Yes. All right, hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing on ZC 21-15 for the property at 5011 Willgrove Mint Hill Road, tax parcel number 137-051-05. Agenda item number 7, at this time, I'm going to open the public hearing on ZC 21-16, filed by Tim Airy, conditional rezoning to amend number ZC 19-9 zoning plan and request an exception to the downtown code with respect to frontage requirements along a public street for property located at 11631 Lawyers Road and the 2 adjoining properties, tax parcels number 197-01-142, 197-01-145, and 197-01-116. I assume you're standing there, that you are the applicant. So if you would give us your name and address, you have the floor, sir.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, you should have those memorized by the end of the meeting, and I will check back with you.
Please just don't test me.
You're right.
I'm Tim Airy, 822 McGregor, Concord, NC. I'm the owner of Airy Properties, and this is,
West Shaw, 1106 Euclid Avenue.
Wes works with us. He's also my son-in-law. The project that you have in front of you or on the board there, that is the McEwen property that we have under contract. It was rezoned in approximately the fall of 2020. And so as we picked the project up, it had stalled out a little bit, so we picked it up and have been carrying it through the plan review process. As we got into discussions with Charlotte Water, who is the utility provider, it was discovered that per this design, some of the streets are private alleyways. And so we're here tonight we're trying to get these changed from private alleys to public streets. And so we are asking for an exception to the downtown, let me make sure I read this correctly. The downtown code with respect to frontage requirements along a public street. Anything else you want to add?
Did anybody else sign up to speak to this public hearing?
Any questions?
That's where I'm going next. Commissioner Long, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Not for the applicant, maybe for John.
Okay, go right ahead, sir.
We take these streets over, then we're responsible for them, correct? It goes from an alley to our streets.
Yes, sir.
And we know they're smaller than normal streets, but
No, the applicant has agreed to build now that if this is approved, they would build it to the public street standard.
okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Holton, any questions?
What is the reasoning for wanting to go from public to private? It has to do with sewer, right?
Charlotte
So
Water,
it's on record, so everybody understands why you're applying for this.
Charlotte Water required it. They basically said that they wanted us to do this, didn't really give us much option, said they thought Mint Hill would yield and change on your end, and so they were kind of a little bit of a stalemate there. So at the end of the day, we worked with staff here, and John suggested that we go through this process. So that's why we're here tonight. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, well, and bottom line is Charlotte Water does not want their infrastructure in a private alley. And that's really it. And the previous design would have had the sewer going through a private alley. So that's why they're asking to convert it to a public street.
Public, private, public,
Yes,
private.
yes, exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
Good.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Dalton.
My question's been asked.
Okay. Thank you much. Appreciate your concern. You're
Questions, Commissioner Henderson?
No.
okay. Thank you.
It's my understanding, no.
Sorry.
I'm the big guy. I get to answer the questions last. They're not always the best questions, but it's my understanding that originally, and I'm the anti-alley guy, and the setup of the home plans, when we have homes on alleyways, their rear entrance, their rear loading from alleyways, which means that the garages face the alleyway, which I think these were designed to do that. Am I not correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so are we going to change the footprint on the homes, or am I going to drive down a public street and see nothing but garages sticking out on both sides of the road?
That is correct, that the homes are still being proposed to be rear load lots, which means if you were driving down these streets, they would continue to be rear load lots.
And only those 4 areas really is what we're talking about here. So the rest of the neighborhood, I'm gonna drive down the public street and I'm gonna see the front of the home.
Correct.
But now that Charlotte Water has decided that they want their water lines on public roads, all we've done really is changed an alley to a road, which, I'd rather we took care of the alleyways anyway, and that's on record 1,000 times. But I do have a little question about what the appearance of this is going to be. I mean, this is a site plan. I'd really like to see what the appearance of this thing is going to be when I drive down those roads. It's not looking attractive in what I'm trying to imagine here, in that I'm driving down one of our public streets in the middle of our town, in our downtown overlay area, and I'm looking at garage doors.
I think I can speak to that. So really, the only difference from if you were driving down the public alley previously to now driving down a public street is that we would have sidewalk along the road, and there would be additional street trees
Landscaping.
fronting the road.
Well, that's not the only exception, because I know of no other roads that we have in town where we allow that type setup on them. Am I correct?
That is correct, and that's the exception request. That is why they have to ask for an
Oh,
exception.
that's not what he said, though, when he told me about the exception.
Yeah.
So that is part of the exception that they're wanting.
Yes.
So you're wanting us to approve, for lack of a better understanding, so the public understands it, you're asking us to approve the house being turned towards the greenway and away from the road?
Yes, sir, which was how it was originally.
It was when that was an alleyway, because I wasn't going to have public traffic going through the alleyway. Now I'm going to have public traffic coming off Crest Hill and going by these things. And they're going to look at garage doors, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. I'd like to see some other additional information personally. I have to see that I got to see that picture. I got to see what that looks like as I'm driving by that thing. Since it's not that way anywhere else in town. And I do study these things a little bit, believe it or not. I did notice we moved a couple lots from someplace else on the site plan over to those alleyways as too. Lot number 8 and 53 have changed from where they were originally on the site plan, which adds 2 more places that I'm looking at garage doors, 2 more lots that I'm looking at garage doors. Is that correct?
Those lots were previously on the other side, and they were also rear load. However, because we moved that road going north to south, closer to Lawyers Road, we had to move them on the other side. So they were previously on the west side of Middle Springs, and we moved them to the right side or the east side.
You've answered my question, but not my concern. And you guys are going to go to the planning board, and I think they're going to have the same question, is what's that going to look like when I drive down the road? And we don't have anything other than a site plan to go off of. So we're bound to have some model pictures or that kind of thing that we can present. And I personally like to see our board have that same information so that we can make that call. It's a little tough for me to say, okay, when I don't know what it's going to look like.
Certainly appreciate that. We can get that from the builder and get that.
Excuse me for a second, Mr. Beck, I'm gonna try to fumble my way through this. So if I'm not mistaken, we're talking about Martin Lane, Malone Lane, Marcastle Lane, and Merced Lane. That's the ones that you guys want to make private alleys, public alleys?
Really just Middle Springs and Mason.
Masonwood and Middle Springs are really the only two.
Just two.
We would leave the others as private alleys, as they wouldn't, there's no.
And when I looked at this today, Middle Springs is where Crest Hill once and if we open it up, it's gonna be Crest Hill.
Okay, all right, so might I recommend we have these guys work with staff to come up with a condition that they would agree to, that could then be brought back to you guys to vote on. And just make a condition on the plan. You can't force it on them, if they agree to it in writing, then you guys, we can enforce it at the staff level.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was after. I mean, I wasn't,
All right, so
I don't want to turn the whole thing down because of that, but I've got to have some more information other than just this site plan.
you guys okay with that? Work with
Yeah.
staff on a condition?
Absolutely.
I said, globally speaking, we couldn't get this done in time for these guys to move along. But staff, John, Steve, and I have already talked about the idea of having a new road category that is an alley. That would then, it would be a public road, but it would still be an alley, so the code would already, the downtown code would already encompass that. So if you were building something that was on the alley, it would have to be fed from the alley, but it would still be a public right of way. So we're working on it now, be a more global fix. We couldn't get that in time to address these guys' concerns. But we can make some conditions that I think they'll be willing to agree to that will satisfy what your concerns are.
Yeah, I guess that would fix it. I've got, it's in my opinion, and it's like turning Brighton Park into public roads going down the alleyway, and all I'm seeing back down through there is a porch and a garage and a porch up over the top of it. That's not the look that I'm looking for in downtown Mint Hill.
I think
So-
it would be the same. John and I talked about this. It would still be the same. It would just be a classification of road within our code that would be classified as an alley. That would be, that you would not normally drive down. It would be public right of way, we would maintain it, but it would be, if you drive down it if you wanted to, just like Brighton Park, you can drive down it. I mean, who's going to? You're not getting anywhere any quicker by doing it.
No, but in this case, that's the only access I have to that home.
Correct.
So I'm going to see nothing but the alleyway picture driving down that road, and that's my concern. Anybody else, anything else? Thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it. You work with staff on that and try to get me the information that we're looking for. And we thank you. We appreciate you continuing to work with
Oh, absolutely.
Charlotte Water on that kind of thing. And
Absolutely.
we deal with them ourselves, and they're the only game in town, so we'll make it work.
True. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Nobody else signed up to speak to that? Is that correct? So at this point in time, I'm going to close public hearing on ZC 21-16, located at 11631 Lawyers Road and the two adjoining properties. Item number 8. Whereas all children in Mint Hill should have access to the highest quality education possible. And whereas Mint Hill recognizes the important role that an effective education plays in preparing all students in Mint Hill to be successful adults. And whereas quality education is critically important to the economic vitality of Mint Hill. And whereas Mint Hill is home to a variety of high-quality public and non-public schools for which parents can choose for their children. And whereas educational variety not only helps to diversify our economy, but also enhances the vibrancy of our community. And whereas Mint Hill has many high-quality teaching professionals in all types of school settings, we are committed to educating our children. And whereas School Choice Week is celebrated across the country by millions of students, parents, educators, schools, and organizations to raise awareness of the need for effective educational options. Now therefore, I, Brad Simmons, do hereby recognize January 23rd through January 29th, 2022 as Mint Hill School Choice Week, and I call this observance to the attention of all of our citizens. Witness my hand and cause the seal of the town of Mint Hill to be affixed this 13th day of January 2022. Brad Simmons, Mayor. Item number 9, did we have anybody sign up for public comments outside of our public? Item number 10 is other business and councilman matters. Do you have anything, Commissioner Henderson?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem Dalton, do you have anything?
Just glad to be back, looking forward to our year together, and that's it.
Commissioner Holton?
No, sir.
Commissioner Long?
No, sir.
I would like to thank all of you here in the audience this evening for coming out. We beg for public input. We really do. I hear so many people say, well, we don't have the availability to weigh in. Well, we've got a room full of people here tonight, and most of you had the opportunity to sign up and speak to this group this evening. I also mentioned that the town website has all the commissioners' email addresses on there. We beg for that input. We don't know how the town feels unless the town lets us know how they feel. So we appreciate it. We do have a public hearing coming up on our comprehensive land use plan. That is this coming, and correct me by shaking your head or incorrect, this coming Tuesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. You have the opportunity to weigh in on how you would like to see zoning things and some of the things done in our comprehensive land use plan. We're trying to set this thing up for the next 10 years, so we welcome the input. Tell your neighbors that we welcome the input as well. These guys heard from other people through emails this week that didn't want to be read into the public record, but wanted to weigh in on these things, so we welcome that. With that being said, the board is going to, at this point in time, go into closed session to consult with our attorney on a legal matter. We do not plan on coming back into the room with any decisions at that point, so we'll adjourn from the flex room is where we're going to go. Thank you very much.